Tubers Mezcal here. We're back with the. I had a phone call come in and stop the recording while I was pulling this down. It did give me an opportunity to finish off some things, so I've got this bad boy in its tube doing a water leak test. There's a full column there. That's a really. I haven't measured it. It's probably about a metre, maybe a bit more, of water. So it's quite heavy, and there's a lot of pressure down here. As I said, I had wax on there before, and the wax shrunk when it cooled, and it wasn't nearly as good for sealing as the silicon. So that moulding type silicon was poured in the bottom there, and looks like it's done a great job of sealing. There's not a drip to be seen, so that's really good. Okay, so yeah, what are we going to do here? I think I'll heat that up and pull that out and have a good look, because that sand has gone hard. I don't know if it's mixed with the wax or what's going on there, or it's had a reaction. So to fill you in, what was in here was oxalic acid and distilled water. And so oxalic acid I've used in the past. It's a great electrolyte that you get a lot of foaming if you use caustic or lye, the sodium hydroxide. I've never been one to use baking soda because there's better things available, but yeah, oxalic acid really will get a cell pumping if you're going to do the play the electrolyte game. Alright, I'm just going to pause and get this off, and we'll have a look in there. I don't have a tripod to set you up, and you probably don't want to watch me do it anyway. I'm back in a sec. Okay. There's black sand in there from the previous experiment, and I just threw the other beach sand on top. It had been washed. So there's the cell. It is stainless. That's a 316L stainless rod, and I don't know the quality, but I do believe it's fairly high. It's probably 316 or maybe 314, but yeah, it's good quality steel. Obviously the rubber didn't hold up. The idea was to insulate it to confine the action and stop the current leakage. But yeah, what's going on with this sand in here? So suggestions are to dry the sand out and try to use the same sand to see if it's going to do the gobbling of the oxygen. So if I talk about what happened earlier, so I'm quite, as I said, experienced with using oxalic acid to do the electrolyte thing. So I expected that this would have gone snap, crackle, pop, regardless of capturing it with bubbles and that sort of thing. And in the early run, once the sand was in there, there was absolutely no snap to the gas that came off. It was just going foof, foof, flop, plop, plop, poof. And yeah, I really didn't need to capture it with detergent to prove to myself, but I did that, and it did get louder as it went on. So there wasn't a lot of sand in there. It was, there was only about that much in there covering the cell. It was just up to there, just enough to cover it. And let's peel this stuff off and have a look. So, looking at the oxidation state of sand, well, sand is silicon dioxide, and that's two oxygens hanging off a silicon. And it can hold 4. So I'm guessing that as the oxygen is trying to form, it's going straight into the sand. It's probably stealing a proton or something to attach itself, and next thing you know, the sand is now silicon trioxide, or I can't remember the other one right now, but it's SiO4. There was a real, if you saw the previous video, there was a real strange sort of Cassius purple type of colour to the water in the morning after it had all settled, and I was like, that's quite curious because I've never seen those kind of colours before. Looks offset, doesn't it? Doesn't look like it's in the middle anymore. Yeah, I'm next up I'm just going to fire this up on 2 volts or something, and just to wake it up and see how it goes. I don't want to run it for any length of time. That's tap water in there, and I want to run it with distilled. And I've just spent a good 20 minutes out in the yard with oxalic acid on a rag and a couple of pipes coming in from either end to clean all the stain, because it was stained like crazy. And good old oxalic acid did a good job of cleaning it up. Alright, how about I throw the battery charger on there on nickel metal hydride or something, and we'll just give it a quick squirt. I'll just pause and do that for you. Okay, I've put it on minimum current on NiCad. Let's see how this goes. .45 volts, 0 amps. .1 amp. Running centre positive there as a test. We'll flip it around, go the other side, connection break. Actually, let's measure the voltage on the cell. I don't believe that. That'd be 0 volts. One point. Anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd update you. I'll get to filling this up with sand tomorrow after I've given it a good clean out, and I want to get that centre rod looking shiny again. So I'll probably do a reverse current clean on it before I fill it back up with sand. And so that'll be tomorrow's play, where you'll get to hopefully see it make gas that snap, crackles and pops, then I'll drop the sand in and see how it changes. And hopefully I've got an interesting idea going on in my brain. Like, if you've lost electrons to sand in the form of a free oxygen atom, then that change in potential might allow to pull energy back out of the sand once it's fully charged up with oxygens. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up if you like what you're watching, and all comments and stupid questions are valid.